But let's be honest with ourselves, right? We know communities and societies where they've preserved their cultural practices, even within the modern setting. You know, Indians can come back with Ngamlane, but when it comes to like certain cultural practices, they don't fold. Even like either marrying within their own, right, is a thing. Like where they still have arranged marriages of people that went to school, right? They still choose partners according to their cultural or even religious lines. Rona ke rona ba, I know, democracy, everything, and like sometimes it's like this whole thing. Yeah, I feel like when it comes, especially as Babats, when it comes to this whole thing of democratizing things, you know, agency, men and women are the same. You know, sometimes we fight for these things to our own detriment, because what we fail to notice is that some things that were there, even when you look at them with the wokeness lenses, it makes it, you want to challenge it, bro. But there was a reason that thing was there, bro. And one of those things is like this thing of having kids outside of marriage is the number one contributor to deadbeatism.
True.
And I'll mention the reason. I will still advocate for marriage even if you don't love each other. If we are saying the number one metric is to build societies. Right? So now what we've done is that we've said your happiness as an individual is the number one.
It's paramount.
Like you see how women now talk down on Begazela. Yes, I understand. I'm not going to the extremes of like
abuse
where like, you know, but like we want to take Begazela and wash it all out, throw it out with the baby with the bathwater. Like, you know, people say whenever we criticize divorce rates, like, yeah, but we are not like our mothers who Begazela for Maseb. No, your parents Begazela for you to have this opinion.
Yes.
That's why they Begazela. For you to be the person that you are today is because your mom.
She stayed because of the kids, bro.
Your mom may not have been with somebody that amoratically. But her family said, we are not getting you. We are your mother's family might have said,
and you know, it's not only the woman that Begazela, bro. Your daddy
stand your mom. Word.
Yeah.
Word, bro. Yeah. Word.
Exactly.
It's not only women.
Exactly.
It was duty.
It was duty.
Yep. Word, my
Thank
G.
you. You see, I was looking for that word. Now, what we've done, Rones Baba, in the main,
we've discarded duty.
We've taken our individual happiness and this we are so hyper independent. This hyper independence at the expense of duty.
And we're not. Like, we're not saying, I'm not like reading the stats, about 80% of the marriages in the white communities, you know, like these kids are staying with their family. We're not like assuming, those are all happy marriages.
Yes. That's the point.
It's just that these communities that were highlighted have a higher sense of duty than we have.
Or even a moral code. So let me make it another example. There are some societies or communities where they've got what we call cardinal sins, where they've said a child out of wedlock, it's a cardinal sin, even outside just religion. Like it's like we won't tolerate this here. So what they would rather do is that you'd find that a lot of Mangamla happy they do termination, but it's not reported upon as much as because the media is white friendly. Or they would say Munyal.
So Munyal ka abort.
And then you don't see like a scourge of teen pregnancy, right? So I know it's my body, I know it's my right, yeah, for sure. But all those choices we are making come at an expense of the community that we are. We shape the community that we are,
and the community that your child grows up in.
So it's the same example the dating pool where you say like. Or like if I'm using an analogy at dating where somebody says the dating pool is the piss, but that's the pool I'm in.
Yeah, but you're there and you contribute to it.
That's the pool I'm in. That's the pool I'm in.
And your attitudes
so we
around
don't have
it
a
too.
sense of duty.
Nobody.
But those things, life is different now to what it was then.
Yeah.
So those ways may not necessarily be in line with the way we now live.
Sure.
Okay.
So yes, it worked good and well, Begezel on both ends then. But we live different now.
Yes, Mara, that's where Tabang is coming in.
Circumstances made them Begezel. They also didn't Begezela because they it was just for the reputation of the name.
Got
The
it.
circumstances they were in at the time forced them to be in a situation to begezela. But that we're no longer part of those societal pressures where we find ourselves in positions where we need to begezela. So
Because if you are so pro individual happiness, then you should understand why your baby daddy left.
Danko.
Ah, hey, out here with the gems out here, my
Because that man chose himself.
Yes.
Alebala duty ya rona le-
Yes.
He chose individual happiness
Yes.
over duty.
Yes. And that's what we're discouraging one
Because your care for your children is not duty. It's natural maternal instinct.
And that you are the primary parent.
And
anyway.
because you're the primary
child will
parent.
be
You
left
Gave
Yeah.
birth to, but
You
this
gave
nigga
birth.
can say, you know what?
fuck this.
This is not conducive to my happiness. I'm choosing my mental health.
Yeah, your baby got bad vibes.
Yeah, it comes with the mother with bad vibes.
Yeah, this whole situation is bad vibes.
Yeah, I'm
Nah.
out of here.
For my mental health, I gotta.
I'm exercising my agents.
You know what I'm saying? I get
outta here.
depressed dealing with this kid, nigga. Shit.
Mess with the man.
You know?
And then you know that's just like the tip. Imagine a man that leaves fully grown kids, teenagers. Teenagers. He's been in this marriage for 20, 30 years.
Yeah, and he decides to leave.
And he just decides to leave to go start
A
another
whole
family.
new life. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy, bro. Duty, bro.
If you can understand that individual happiness, then you can understand why that nigga is not
Your
here.
individual happiness is not that important in the greater scheme of
their
things.
counter would be that no, I don't mind him choosing his happiness, but he still has a duty towards the child.
Or he has a responsibility.
Yeah, but
eh.
here's what happens. Sometimes, or most cases that I've seen, you would use the child as a bargaining chip. Or if this nigga wants to be in the life child without giving you money, you don't want it. You don't want him being there for the child if he's not forking out money.
It has to be under
Eh,
certain terms.
kanti umntana ukhuliswa ngantoni
Kachale.
uthando.
uzolala ke uthando
Yeah, well, that's another point to be argued. But in most cases, if I said I want to spend time with my son,
No, but I like Mo's kind of point, because now that there's a child, they expect the duty. You have a duty to this child. You know what I'm saying? But now, if somebody's going to advocate, okay, my individual happiness times duty,
Shouldn't have
then
left
I
it.
don't have duty to this child, even if I created
Which
it.
is why then you would struggle with the sense of duty that you have to your husband, regardless of what he does. Because Ubegezela's duty.
he has duty. Yeah.
It's duty.
It's duty.
It's not suffering. It's not torture.
You're the first to tell us that you ain't got it in you
Yeah.
as a modern woman.
Yeah.
And yet you expected me to have it when you had this kid that I didn't want.
Yeah. But they automatically expect it.
Please, come on.
Get the fuck out of here. Fuck out of here with that bullshit. Yes, sir.
Hey, niggas,
Hey, the homie out here cooking, bro. Like, Maga, what we advocating for?
It's for duty.
It's for duty, bro. Okay, Mfana, there are gonna be situations in your life that aren't pleasant.
Yeah.
Maga, you have a duty, bro. Like, hey, your baby mamas is the bitch.
Yeah.
But you have a duty to this kid.
Yeah, and-
stick with that duty. Hey, that's like, as an adult, you are able to contextualize your feelings, and then contextualize now your understanding of where your parent is. And then you balance, okay, which one is worse. You know what I'm saying? Because now I can look back as a kid and say, I wouldn't have wanted a life where my mom left.
The more I'm resonating with what Taban said earlier, even if you don't love each other,
Yes.
it might still be important to be
It must
married.
be important to be married. Rabo. So
It's
now
very important because lenyalo asimthotla isia fela.
Yeah, how we see
Urumetse
fair.
bo malome la mfethu. They were
Yeah,
big. Yeah.
like there's a whole community around this
So
thing.
now that's why, and every time when I advise my friends that are married, I would see niggas wanting, or even a woman like, I want divorce this kid. And then the day you wanna make the decision, you forget that you've got a duty to other stakeholders.
Sure.
You know, and I've seen a lot of people when they want things to end, they like, he just dumps this guy. Super hard.
Actually,
Hey, hane ke batla mnyana. Olang super habo, I don't know. And she hankukela le sona ha ke tjhadua. But you think you leaving me is just going to be a cheap, I don't want this anymore.
Yeah, it's never that.
It can't be that easy, guys.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be that easy.
Because,
and happily, you're only dynamic. Think about it, dude. Like, we are human beings. I can go in my entire span of marriage where the 1 year we were strangers. Then we find ourselves again because we are evolving within that marriage ourselves, right? And within that marriage, I was in corporate, I was this, and you are happy with that. And then I reinvent myself, and then I'm an entrepreneur, and I am rubbing you up the wrong way of how you are structured as a human being. That wants certainty, that wants structure. You see, like, even in that marriage, like, it's not
ebbs
a one.
and flows.
Somebody was telling me
I see people, I think we've touched this on before, like, we have a duty towards black businesses as consumers.
True.
You know? And that's the only way we can
They
convert them to industry level businesses that can now have the same type of service that we expect from them. So right now what happens at Kinales Plaza or Batla Treatment at ShopRite, I haven't scaled myself up to ShopRite standards for you to expect ShopRite treatment. Because first of all, when how ShopRite, you forget that my operation is actually running until 10 at night. Right? But you have these ShopRite expectations. But you have a duty to actually build this guy so that how to munyela usan.
And there should be some grace
It's where you've deposited. It's where you've deposited so that when you demand this respect, it's where you've built it. It's where you've deposited. So as black people, we've got like duty to our society and our community, like whether it's marriage, whether it's friendship, we have a duty to build our own.
And we lax with that, bro.
Because
we are the 80% consumers, where 4 biggest retailers are all white. Come on.
Yeah, true.
There's a glitch in the matrix. There's a glitch in the matrix. 4.
No. We'll talk, B. We'll talk.
I think another duty that we also have, and I mean this even at a state level, we have a duty to fast track intelligently. So if Maurice is a civil engineer, it must be deliberate that I'm going to a black person. But if I'm going to do that with an aim of making him fast track, then I mustn't go give this Serebona Moteneli DJ Sahahadin.
Yeah, no.
Because but it's the decision they did when they were growing.
Nah, fuck that.
Then that's counterproductive.
Fuck that.
So first be black and fast track somebody who can be an industry in that. Then we're gonna see a lot more traction. So no problem, you will do black, but then you will fail it where it matters the most, then they won't be delivered. Then that knocks confidence because somebody here's another black one.
Or you'll be black and then you have white people on staff.
Wabo. So that's the problem. But we have a duty to support black people and make sure that those black people, they can be at an industrious level.
and are competent.
Otherwise, it will be a leaking bucket.
Yeah, so under that proud South African banner in a pushua, netlamu hubenalea proud black. Ilinya community
Proudly black.
Proudly
competent black.
Proudly competently black.
Not a DJ building house.
Yeah, not a DJ fucking building out. Nah, get the fuck out of here.
And that's the shit we be on.
Yeah,
That's why we do that.
But maybe DJ
Once we realize our own problems, our solutions are going to come from us. And then it's going to start off painfully in the beginning, you know, but we have a duty towards ourselves.
Yeah, and duty is painful, bro.
Yeah, and duty is inconvenience.
Yeah, it's inconvenient.
very inconvenient.
Yeah, that's the word.
Hello.
The Dojo.